Why does evil exist? It's a question asked in temples, in trenches, and in quiet, sleepless nights. For centuries, people have believed in a God who is all-powerful, all-knowing, and perfectly good. But if that's true, then why is the world so full of pain? In the 18th century, Scottish philosopher David Hume asked this question with clarity that still unsettles. Is God willing to prevent evil, but not able? Then he is impotent. Is he able but not willing? Then he is malevolent. Is he both able and willing? Whence then is evil? In other words, why is there evil? This wasn't just clever wordplay. Hume was pointing to something deeply uncomfortable, the contradiction at the heart of traditional theism. If God is willing to stop evil and able to stop evil, then why does evil persist? This question became known as the problem of evil, and it remains one of the most powerful arguments against the existence of a God who is both all-good and all-powerful. Theologians and philosophers have offered many responses, known as theodicies. Some argue that evil is the price of free will, that without the ability to choose wrongly, there can be no meaningful morality. Others claim that suffering builds character, or that it serves a purpose we simply can't comprehend. Some point to an afterlife, where all wrongs will be made right. But Hume wasn't satisfied. He looked at the overwhelming scale of suffering, the innocent, the random, the senseless, and asked, is this really the best possible world that a good and powerful God could create? Even if there were some hidden reason for human suffering, what about the suffering of animals, of people long before organized religion, of children born into agony? What kind of plan requires so much collateral damage? So what are we left with? If evil exists and God is supposed to be good and powerful, something doesn't add up. Maybe God doesn't exist. Or maybe our ideas about God need to change. Or maybe the question itself has no satisfying answer. Hume didn't pretend to solve it. He didn't offer comforting conclusions. But he did something vital. He made us stop and think. Because whether you believe in God or not, the reality of evil is unavoidable. The question isn't just theological, it's deeply human. How do we make sense of pain? How do we live in a world where innocent people suffer? How do we find meaning in the face of tragedy? For some, these questions challenge their faith. For others, they refine it. And for many, they shift the focus entirely, from seeking answers in heaven to seeking action on earth. Maybe the real power doesn't lie in solving the problem of evil. Maybe it lies in how we respond to it, in comforting the grieving, in fighting injustice, in refusing to look away. Because whether or not God exists, evil does, and so does our capacity for good. David Hume showed us that philosophy doesn't always give us peace, but it gives us clarity. And sometimes that's where healing begins. Thank you and see you next time.